Welcome back to the people's best reactions to the Elversin Grand Prix. So, the Elversin Grand Prix is done and dusted. It was a pretty good race. First of all, let's rate the Grand Prix. Honestly, I don't think the Grand Prix was okay. With once again another Grand Prix that we didn't have any retirements. And like no yellow flags or anything. But yeah, did anybody realize that was kind of hard to overtake? Yeah, I also realized that was pretty hard to overtake somehow. Anyways, we submitted some questions for you guys. I'm gonna feature two of them here for the first time. Alright, so question coming from, I just forgot who sent it. But the question is, are we surprised by Arson Source's, Yellow Sheep's pay? No. Cause of course they got that new upgrade, but I am surprised. Like, they looked like the sort of like second best car, like it looked like a second best car. Maybe the car just, maybe the circuit just suited their car, but like it just turned up, got a nice P4 and 5. I mean a nice P5 and 6. Like I'm so surprised. Yeah, that shocked me as well. They drove a really good race, had a really good qualifying. Well, thanks to they probably would have had such a good race if Roger didn't go off in qualifying. And let's talk about that. Brings us to Arston Sarston. Oh boy. I'll say they had an alright weekend. They actually had probably the best weekend of the season. Except for, not Roger though. Not Roger. Roger, of course, crashing out in qualifying. Still going in the points. Started 10th. I believe he finished 10th. But, this brings us to our next question. Nobody mentioned anything about Donkey. Donkey having a nice undercover race. Sneaking into the points. I think he got B12. Yeah, that makes that all the Arson Sarsons got points today. Which was pretty crazy. And pretty good for the constructors. Because Arson Sarson are way ahead now. Let's talk about Jones, shall we? Jones, they had a pretty good weekend. I realized that overtaking at Elversin was surprisingly hard. But there were these people on like hard tires that are just gonna hold up the pack. But Mark started 11th and finished 11th. And Logan kind of had a bad race. So yeah, Jones only scored a bit of points. Mario, of course, Mario and David fighting for the lead. Honestly, although they fought, it was a pretty boring. It was a pretty not boring. It felt boring, but it was actually a pretty good fight that they had. It didn't last very long though, but because David just had that better pace. Yeah, David was just that much better. Also, does anybody realize that like after this round that there's like a massive gap in the season? Yeah, I realized that. Like, Usa Arbu next race, which should be pretty interesting. It's like the second last weekend in June. Like, what? But don't forget this rally sectric. That's where they're taking a bit of a break. Well, that makes sense. Speaking of rally sectric, all three of you are going to be competing. Yeah, we will be. Should be a good time. As we, Earth Mother King of the Sprint's already happened already. But yeah, Usa Arbu's a whiles away. And that'll be the first night, well, the second night race of the season. But yeah, David leads the championship again. And this championship fight hopefully won't stop anytime soon. Let's talk about Claren. They've ran a pretty mad race, honestly. I think George is the only one who snuck into the points. The same with, well, Sart had a very good race. Of course, Kyla on the podium again. Honestly, Kyla had a pretty underrated drive. She drove really good. She drove really, really well to get that podium. And most people just didn't look at it. Now let's go to Emerald. They had a pretty bad weekend. It's crazy now that since Yellow Sheep did so good that Yellow Sheep has jumped them in the championship. And of course, BMW had a bad weekend, of course, because they don't have the pace. Like, BMW has got to qualify really good to have good results. And they gotta be like well into the top 10 to have a good result. If they start 12, they're not gonna finish 12. But yeah, we had a pretty parts of the race was actually pretty dull, not gonna lie. Parts of it was actually pretty dull. And yeah, we went into Asa Arbu. Yeah, Emerald's I don't even know what to say about Emerald's pace today. It was, of course, it's today for us, but for you guys coming out, this is coming out the next day, Monday, which is a bank holiday. But yeah, that's pretty weird. Yeah, I'm surprised though that Roger didn't make up any places or anything. I'm so surprised by that. I expect him to just like fly up the field, but he didn't. I'm like, the yellow sheep, just like, I'm surprised that nobody could pass them. Like, not even, who was in sixth? Wait, no, who was in seventh? Who was it? I forgot who was in seventh. Probably Manton or something. Wait, no, it was Mon who was in seventh. Yeah, Mon didn't have such a good race either. Mon had a pretty terrible race. Two terrible races in a row. Anyways, the teams will have a bit of time to reset going into Asarbu. Pretty weird that you go into Asarbu and then you have this break. It's pretty weird. Like, you're having a break, then going into Asarbu, then having the summer break. What sense does that make? Although it does, but I don't know. Anyways, that's it for the people's best reactions today. There surprisingly wasn't that much to talk about. Because, like, there was no... Of course, me and Greg will have our driver ratings for the first time. They'll probably be coming tomorrow. But yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys, soon.